Well, apologies on the, I guess, short break because, well, basically got overwhelmed. So there it is. Nothing too bad happened. But let us get right to it. So there have been a lot of lists lately on the SPTV side on the alleged whatever crimes, accusations, etc., etc. Now I'm going to be fair to Nora because thinking it through and taking down some notes, I noticed like, well, she's done enough really cringy stuff. Really, she has her own list, but I will try to do several lists on kind of the SPT cringe of 2024 and even some non SPTV cringe. So let us get right to it. And again, to be fair, I don't think Nora planned to be stupid, but this is her thing lately where she will just be chatting with her fans and let her genius flow. And boy, even I was like, it was just jaw dropping. Like, what the hell? I mean, I'm like, huh? How in the world did you get from here to there? And I would play a clip, but except I've been getting tons and tons of strikes for using any material, even when it's completely legitimate. So you'll just have to believe me. It is in the transcript, so unless she's taken down the video, which I doubt because it made a little bit of money, right? It's getting like whatever 6, 7, 8,000 views. So I don't think she's gonna take it down because she likes money. So what exactly was it? Well, wait for it because you might think, oh, you're making this up. No, she couldn't have said this, but no, she did. She did. For whatever reason, she segued into geography lessons. Okay, Europa, and give her points. She got a few things right, like France and Germany and things like that. But oh, wait for a minute, because she gets a lot of things wrong with even that. So for whatever reason, she said, guys, there are there are a lot more countries than when I was the younger Nora. Okay, I don't know if that's even empirically true, and we'll get to that. But out of nowhere, she said, oh, and there are some things that are less, like Romania. Do you guys know that Romania is not a country, it don't exist. Yes, Nora actually claimed Romania, which does exist and is a country and is still around, disappeared or never existed. It was a little confusing. Now, I'll be fair and try to backtrack because I think I know what she's trying to say, although even there, she's getting a little confused. Now, to be fair, these are actually difficult topics like nations, states, and countries. They sound like simple concepts. When you think it through, though, it gets really complicated. So the best I can do for her is this. But let me just go a little further back with her statement that we have, quote, more countries. Well, that may be a little doubtful because let's take some obvious cases like, say, Germany. Germany used to have technically two countries, although many Germans would deny that the East German country was really a real country, right? These things can be disputed, but I think it's taken for granted that at one point Germany was divided, so you had one country made into two countries, but then it was reunified and became one country again. All right, so that's two countries being turned into one country, Germany. So, yeah, I don't know where Nora's getting her numbers, but there are reasons to doubt that we're getting more countries. Maybe we are, but she didn't cite any source. How in the world did she get to Romania out of nowhere? I guess what the thinking is this, that Romania had a dictatorship, right? Pretty vicious dictator, Kescu, who coincidentally was a big favorite of Nixon and Reagan, right? They really loved him. So he was a very pro CIA communist tyrant. They might think that's a contradiction, but well, there you go. That's the CIA. If you have a tyranny and are pro American, well, they've got cash for you. And there we are. But Kescu was thrown out of office. And I'm being nice because on YouTube I got to be careful with the words, but it was a little bit more violent than that. But in any case, the dictatorship fell, and the Romanian state under him technically was dissolved. So the dictatorship went away, but the country remained. Right? This is not even hard to understand. This is like Iraq with Saddam Hussein, right? Saddam Hussein and the regime of Saddam Hussein technically was dissolved. It does not exist anymore, right? Because he's dead. But Iraq, the country, still exists. There we are. It's not hard that the dictator and the dictatorship are not equivalent to the country. Sometimes they are, right? maybe with the dictator falling, the country will fall apart, but many times it does not. So I guess in her reading of the Cold War, because certain communist regimes no longer existed, the countries no longer existed, right? They were made up by Stalin. But that's not what happened, right? Certain countries were occupied, and then with Romania, I mean, you could argue that, quote, the indigenous communist parties or whatever took over. But in any case, Stalin didn't technically create those countries, then occupied them. It's the other way around. He occupied them, and then they became sort of new countries. Whether they really were countries, yeah, we can dispute. And it gets more and more complicated with the Soviet Union, right? Because the Soviet Union itself absorbed certain countries on its borders, which people would argue, well, those are not really Soviet countries, but they were forced in. And they were liberated technically decades ago, but now Putin is rewriting the rules there too, right? That's what Ukraine is about, right? It was like, was Ukraine really its own country? Is it really part of Russia? What is it really? Well, we can go back and forth. So what Nora should have said, these are complicated concepts. Here's my thinking about it. But no, she just went straight out like she's the master of all domains and said, oh, guys, you may not understand this, but Romania? Romania does not exist. You're like, huh? Wait, where are you getting that from? What is, huh? I don't even know. Like, why does she even talk about this? Like, does she really know geography at that deep level? No. And it's really funny, too, because someone in the comments made fun of her and said, no, Romania does exist. And he says, well, that's what I'm saying. I need to catch up on my geography. Right. Right. So this is a woman who wants and claims to be the leader of a big social movement. And she can't even do basic geography. And her response to getting a basic geography lesson wrong is like, well, that's my point. I need to catch up on my geographies. So your concession to you being stupid is, well, yeah, as I said, I'm really, really stupid. Right. So we should be handing you the money and the power because I don't know. But the Nora fans are something else because no matter how dumb she is, somehow they can just be like, oh my god, that was so brilliant. Like, I thought Romania existed, but now I know it doesn't. Okay, it does exist, but Nora's just funny. No, I don't think many Romanians would think that's funny that she just denied their existence because, she's trying to show off her not real genius to her fans. I mean, I don't even know why Nora keeps trying to do that, but clearly when she gets beyond the basics of anything, she just gets lost because her brain just is not up to this challenge, but she can't just admit she's, falling far behind everyone else. So she's like, oh, you see, guy, the cybernetic coach is in Latonis, which means that's connected to Dark Tony, which is connected to the Reddits. That is my geography Latinus lesson for today. Right. Well, listen, I'm not giving her any money because her Latin/geography lessons need a lot of work, but that's me. Still, as a chuckle, it's kind of sad, actually. I kind of remember that Jay Leno had these little running bits of challenging people on their basic knowledge, and he had a lot of fun with the geography, saying, hey, so Luxembourg, does Luxembourg exist? And of course, the naive Americans usually were like, no, don't exist, Mr. Leno. I know you made that up. And of course, he would, stare at the camera and be like, folks, it does exist. So I guess I got to tell Nora, Romania does exist. It will probably exist long after Nora dies. I know it's sad, but Nora will not outlive Romania, except in her head, apparently.